Prince Harry is banned from seeing him.
This is absolutely devastating. It's humiliating. It's an insult for Harry. If Harry hadn't behaved like such a spoiled so-and-so, then there would be a path to redemption for him. The idea of going to the country where your kid lives and not having 5 minutes together is wild. It is mind-blowing. It will be the mother of all snubs.
Trump, I don't want to say hates Starmer, but he doesn't respect him. He thinks he's a buffoon, thinks he's an idiot. Can King Charles reunite us with our cousins?
So it's frosty, explosive headlines, big threats. It's how he does business, according to my sources at the palace.
Hello, welcome to the Daily Expresso. I'm JJ Nishobi. This is Mark Dolan. Mark, thanks for coming in again.
Good to see you, JJ.
It feels like it's been ages since I last saw you.
Yes, I won't take it personally. You haven't replied to my WhatsApps. You're sending a clear message, and I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Well, speaking of a clear message, King Charles, in the US, he's landed. By the time this comes out, he's landed in Washington. But Prince Harry is banned from seeing him.
This is absolutely devastating. It's humiliating. It's an insult for Harry. He's had a horrible couple of weeks. The photo opportunity trip to Ukraine, which has enraged the palace. And of course, the disastrous hot mess down under in Australia when the Australian public ignored them. Meghan claimed to be the most trolled person in the world, even though she's the troll. And Harry complaining about Charles's awful parenting skills. Well, revenge is a dish best served cold. And Charles will be giving his son the cold shoulder. This is extraordinary if you think about it, because yes, the king has a packed schedule when he's in the United States, but his youngest son is in the same country, just a short flight away. And it's an amazing low point in their relationship that Harry should be persona non grata at the White House. The idea that Harry can't pop to Washington and have dinner with his father, that he can't be in any way a participant in this very important state visit. And it just goes to show that Harry's relationship with the king is now non-existent. And of course, Harry flexed his muscles, didn't he, in that deranged interview with ITV News, in which he said, "Oh yeah, I'm totally a frontline serving royal man. I'm back. Yeah. I'm so mega royal, man. I'm like the most royal. I'm the royal star." And that's gone down like a lead balloon. According to my sources at the palace, that's gone down like a lead balloon, because that, of course, is to tear up the agreement Harry made with the Queen about leaving the royal family. Of course, he'll always be the King Charles' son, and he'll always be a member of the family with a small f. But yeah, so this will be a bruising few days for Harry as a bystander in this massive geopolitical event. And this has got to be one of the most important state visits of a British monarch to America in our country's respective histories because of the strains on the special relationship at the moment.
So I think they're going to have some kind of garden party at the British embassy. That would have been perfect for Harry and Meghan.
Of course.
Yeah. Granted, they can't turn up to the White House and be pictured outside shaking hands with Trump and Melania. But yeah, the garden party, that would have been perfect for them.
Most definitely. Harry's got time on his hands. There's no job, as we know. So he could easily hop on a flight from California, from LAX, straight over to Washington, D.C., and he could be in the garden party with Meghan. They could bring maybe flower sprinkles.
She could have given out her jam.
Oh, the jam.
Served the rosé.
We have to be very careful legally what we call that slop. Because I've got to tell you, JJ, that the authorities in America, who don't mess around, you do not mess with the Americans. The National Food Agency, or whatever they're called, have said it's not jam. And she's had to call it spread because it's so runny and sickening, just like her. But yeah, so they could so obviously have participated. And if Harry hadn't behaved like such a spoiled so-and-so, then there would be a path to redemption for him. Instead, the king goes to America, and it's just, the elephant in the room is he's flying to a country that his son inhabits. Can you imagine? You're a proud father. I'm a proud father as well. I love both of my kids, the big one, Adam, and the other one. And he's not...
He doesn't pop.
He doesn't pop. The younger one is disappointing.
He lacks that star quality. He's very nerdy.
What he's not doing is ticking boxes for me. It's just fine. He's fine. It's fine. But yeah, so we love our kids, right? And the idea of going to the country where your kid lives and not having 5 minutes together is wild. It is mind-blowing. And of course, like you absolutely said, JJ, it doesn't have to be in the White House because that's, the really formal part of it. Head of state of the United Kingdom, head of state of America. Of course not. That's not a snub. For Harry to not be in the White House is not a snub.
Yeah.
William's not in the White House either on that occasion. But to be in the same country, and as you say, not to go to the garden party, not to hook up, and it needn't be a very public thing. They could easily have a Clarence House style gathering.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, that was September of last year, if memory serves. And that was 45 minutes of Clarence House. It was discreet. There were no photographs. He's not even been granted that. I mean, Harry will be hurting.
He will be. As will Meghan, because this is a good opportunity for them to make themselves appear to be more royal again.
I think it's revenge from the king. I think the king's furious.
Really?
I think the king's sick of it. And I think the king is starting to listen to William more. Because we know William absolutely detests his brother now. The relationship is over.
That's a shame.
And we know that Charles is a softy and his heart's in the right place. And of course, like I said about your kid, you do love your kids, and Harry will remain his youngest son forever. And so he's got a soft spot for him. But I think that the king is listening more to William now, and he'd better. Because William, is not only the son that's not put a foot wrong and therefore has earned his father's respect, he's going to be king at some point.
Yes.
And therefore, Charles is going to have to acknowledge the views of William. He has to. Because if you think about it, when Charles passes, which I hope is a long time from now, Harry becomes William's problem. And if you think, by the way, that we've seen a snub in America with the king in the United States at the moment, you wait for William's snub of Harry. It will be the mother of all snubs.
Ouch.
It will be snubtastic.
Snubalacious. Can Charles save the special relationship? Because Trump and Starmer don't get on very much anymore. Trump, I don't want to say hates Starmer, but he doesn't respect him. He thinks he's a buffoon, thinks he's an idiot. Can King Charles reunite us with our cousins?
Well, you're right about that. Your language there is very interesting. And it's so true that it's almost better to be hated than to be viewed with contempt. And that's where the White House are now with number 10. It's a shrug of the shoulders. It's irrelevance. It's a joke. It's pathetic. You can debate the whys and wherefores of the Iran war. All the US wanted was access to our air bases to refuel their jets.
Yes.
With the noble cause of disarming the worst regime since the Third Reich. Now, we can debate, and we will debate, whether it's a bit of a hot mess out there, which it is.
Yeah.
A peace deal is taking a while to come through. But I don't think that it's going to age well, Britain's complete lack of support. We don't have to send boots on the ground and start dropping bombs on Tehran.
Yeah.
That's not what the US administration wanted. So it's frosty. But if anyone can fix that relationship, it is King Charles. We know that Donald Trump admires the royal family. He adored the Queen.
Absolutely.
And I think she was cautiously fond of him too. I think she found him an amusing character. She was an amazing lady that had a long experience as a stateswoman. She'd met lots of characters, lots of tyrants, lots of mavericks. So she was well able for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Well able indeed. And so I think that there's such goodwill between the White House and the royal family. And by the way, I would say, JJ, that this week is going to prove the magic of the monarchy. The amazing soft diplomatic power. Because yes, there is tension between the Prime Minister of our country and the President of the United States. And you know something? Politicians will always fall out. There will always be disagreements. People forget this. Mrs. Thatcher and Ronald Reagan did not agree on everything. It was an incredible bond they had. But sometimes she had to speak truth to power, and they did fall out here and there. But overall, it was a strong relationship. But I think the King's going to do a great job. He's very experienced. He's a chip off the old block. He's just as clever and diplomatic and canny as his mother Elizabeth was. He's going to dine with the president. And I think what we'll see this week is the King saves the special relationship.
Well, Piers Morgan said that we
Who's
should
he?
Some young upstart.
I'm not
He's
familiar with his work.
He's going nowhere.
Someone told me he's an online character, and I tend to avoid those people.
Well, he claims that if Trump wants to take the Falklands, then we should take back America. Now, I've watched Hamilton. I'm aware of the history. Okay, I think we should take back America. And I think our American viewers, our North American viewers, I think they're going to agree with me on that.
Well, I think they've had a very difficult time since we left.
They have. They've been struggling.
Yeah, economically, militarily. Yeah, I mean, look, I think that it's very disappointing that Donald has drawn up this list of countries that didn't support him and the various ways he's going to get revenge. He's going to chuck Spain out of NATO, apparently.
Yeah.
I think he's going to sink Iceland. I think he just wants to sink it, apparently.
He's going to melt it to the ground.
Yeah, that's it. Well, apparently, if you drill a big hole in the middle, it's like the bath, basically. And then the United Kingdom must relinquish the Falkland Islands.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous and silly and nonsense. And I will say with the greatest respect to the leader of the free world, go whistle, baby. Because the Falklands they are important islands. The people there want to remain British, 99% of them. And we had a very, very tough war to retain our sovereignty over those islands in 82. You're too young to remember that, right?
I wasn't even born.
You were a twinkle in your father's eye.
Indeed.
But it was tough. And Mrs. Thatcher, it's actually her great legacy was that war, because it was not a foregone conclusion that she would win. She had to go to bed every night wondering, am I going to lose this? Extraordinary pressure. 250 people passed of British service personnel, including 3 brave women. So it's inappropriate and in poor taste, really, for the president to even consider that. But can I just say that this is the Trump method, which is explosive headlines, big threats. It's how he does business. The trick with Donald is to look at his actions, not his words.
Yeah.
And the actions and the words are worlds apart.
Now, there was a shooting at the Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah.
Trump fine, J.D. Vance fine. But this was a teacher, 31-year-old, the suspect of the attack, 31-year-old Cole Allen from California. Is this not just more proof that the radical left are extremely dangerous?
Yes. These attempts on the life of Donald Trump have got nothing to do with the Republican Party, MAGA, being right-wing, being left-wing. Whoever your elected politicians are must be safe. And if they're not safe, you don't have a democracy, or at least you have a fragile one. We have, as we mentioned earlier, Sir Keir Starmer. He's not really doing that great a job. I didn't vote for him, but I have what you call loser's consent, where I'm going to put up with this guy for 5 years because that is democracy.
Absolutely.
And what I'm not going to do is go online and call him this and call him that. And I shouldn't hate the guy so much that I wish he wasn't on the planet. But there are lots of people in America now who feel that way about politicians. And it's so wrong. It's a tragedy, actually. And, of course, America has a long history of assassinations.
Yeah.
And it's very, very sad. The other little issue I've got is, can we please put some proper security around the President of the United States and presidential candidates? Can we please raise our game here? Now, Trump has been very diplomatic about the security services. And he has to be, and I'll tell you for why. They're the folk that take a bullet for him.
Yeah.
So if he admonishes them publicly, they're like, okay, well, good luck next time.
Yeah.
Next time you get a bullet in your head. So you require the goodwill of those folk around you, right? That is not a dressing room to lose. It's the people who will jump into the line of fire. But I think he's being polite. He's being diplomatic. I think that it's a shambles security around the president. I'm shocked. And don't forget, this guy, this teacher, who's now in police custody, was openly ridiculing how bad the security was.
Yeah.
That he didn't get into the ballroom, but he got as far as an adjacent room to the ballroom in the basement of this massive hotel. And without having anything checked, he was staying in a hotel room in the same building.
Yeah.
So I would like to see, and I don't care who, this is not political. I would like to see whether it's Kamala Harris or, anyone that's a prominent public figure in the United States. I'd like them to be safe. And I think it's really bad. I mean, look at Butler, Pennsylvania, how that the roof wasn't covered. There were people in that crowd that were saying that there's a guy scrambling on the roof over there. You might want to do something about that.
Yeah.
So, so I think it's a worry for our democracy. Would you agree? Do you not think that the security's been a bit sloppy?
I think it's been sloppy. I'm more concerned with the fact that, what was it, Charlie Kirk before him obviously the other attempt on Trump where it clipped his ear.
Yeah.
So I'm more concerned with the fact that these lefties are essentially, for me, they're no better than terrorists, these five.
And you know
people.
something? I'm glad you went there, JJ, because I try, and we try, don't we, to avoid this whole left versus right thing, because it's so tribal. And when the right get really tribal, then you're just as bad as the radical left, you know. And I think there is such a thing as the woke right, who are just as keen on cancel culture. But I think this is a problem of the left. And I'll tell you for why. The radical left, as you say, it's a religion.
Yeah,
it's
cult-like.
Isn't it? Thank you. And it's faith-based.
Yeah.
And I was watching some videos yesterday, and it was a young journalist, and she went down to this rally where it's the No Kings rally, which is an anti-Trump rally. By the way, America's a free country. Good luck to you. You want to campaign against the president? No problem. Is Donald Trump behaving in a slightly imperious manner at times? Maybe he is. Let's have that conversation. But it's interesting because whenever she put any points to these leftist lunatics, they would shout at her. They were completely ignorant about the facts, by the way.
Yeah.
And they would walk away whenever she made a good point.
Yeah.
So there was a guy, ultra woke, dressed up as Donald Trump, ranting and raving about the regime. Again, no problem. Let's have that conversation. And she said, I hear what you're saying about him being authoritarian or undemocratic. Do you think it was similarly the case when Kamala Harris got the nomination to be the Democratic option for president at the last election? She was not chosen by Democratic voters. She was parachuted in. Was that also undemocratic? And he gets angry and walks off.
Yeah.
And so what these leftists can't do is they can't debate the issues with you. They're either ignorant of the issues and they're just like, I'm pro-Palestine and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Or if you make a good point, they have to walk away. And I don't know about you, but when I get into a disagreement with someone, I stay. I don't go anywhere. I stay there.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, let's debate this, and I might learn something. And if you're wrong, if you're right, then I'll admit them. So yeah, these people are dangerous. It's a religion. It's a cult. And the other thing is, you've got this Trump derangement syndrome. It's not rational. They're reacting to his political style, which is very difficult to his actual policies.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk of another person who's making people feel angry. Sir Keir Starmer. There's a plot, apparently. Rayner is ready to topple him. This is what we're hearing. And Environment Secretary Emma Reynolds is basically saying to people trying to get the MPs to back off. She said, Labour doesn't win elections very often. Let's not squander this opportunity to change the country for the better. We are the most important and powerful progressive force in this country. I disagree. For changing people's lives for the better. Let's not waste that opportunity. But it seems Angela Rayner is waiting in the wings to get to the top.
Well, she really is. And actually, there's a theme emerging here in this conversation because Keir Starmer gets attacked for his very wooden style. He's so robotic, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
And I call him the Pinocchio Prime Minister. He's wooden, mechanical, and his nose gets longer every day. But rather than the personal attacks, right, again, I don't like his style. But I think this is the way through for politics, which is forget about the fact that he's an incredibly sort of AI-generated, false, fake, not real man. That doesn't actually matter. Should we have a look at the nuts and bolts? You know, we've got an international audience. And for those watching, let me tell you, and we can say how bad Britain is at the moment. We had got rid of unemployment. Unemployment was a rounding error. We haven't had unemployment for over a decade. That's back. Youth unemployment, the highest in Europe.
Yeah.
Catastrophic for young people, because if a young person doesn't get the habit of work, well, then they're going to be on benefits for life.
Yeah.
And their opportunities will shrink. And also young people, if they can't get a job, can't get on the housing ladder, they don't have skin in the game. They're not invested in the economy. Why should they vote for a mainstream party? They're going to, I believe, go hard left.
Yeah.
And it will be somebody like, Captain Cleavage himself, old Zach Polanski. Right. The Green Party leader that claims he can make a woman's breasts bigger through hypnosis. By the way, I will tell you that I took Mrs. Dolan to see Zach Polanski for a session.
Go on.
It was the final roll of the dice for the marriage. It wasn't successful. It fell flat, no pun intended. But these are the lunatics that are the alternative, the crazy lefties. But anyway, so things are not good. The youth unemployment, we know that we had 0% growth in July. Another shocker for our audience, if they don't know, is that the welfare bill is now higher than the tax take of the government. So the welfare bill is more than income tax. Yikes. I mean, surely that doesn't... So he's got all these problems. And then the question is who comes in. So he's definitely on borrowed time. We've got these local elections in May. He's going to get eviscerated. Angela Rayner is an interesting character because I believe her policies will be terrible. She's more to the left of Starmer. With a country that's in debt with open borders, you need to go right, not left, politically, I would humbly suggest. But we're going to go left. She's backed by the trade unions who will want their pound of flesh when she becomes prime minister, which is pay rises in the public sector, more borrowing, more debt. So that's a real worry about what she'll do in power, the policies. I think that there could be an economic emergency if she wins, because the international bond markets, who are the people that keep the country ticking over, will just say, well, wait a minute, you're going to borrow more and spend more. So I think that's a real worry if Angela comes in. What I will say in her defense is that unlike Keir Starmer, she can do politics. Isn't it? She's a headline-making machine. She's a disruptor. She's got an enviable backstory for a left-leaning politician, which is single mother, left school without any real qualifications. She's climbed the ladder, and at one point she was deputy prime minister, I think. So, you know, she's had quite a remarkable rise, and she's a striking figure. Also, the Labour Party are desperate for a female leader because they've never had one.
The Progressive Party, the most progressive party in the country, never had a female prime minister.
And the evil Conservatives have had 3 leaders of colour. And 2 of them became prime minister that were women. Well, no, I got that wrong.
Thatcher, May, Truss. They've had 3 female prime ministers.
That's exactly right. And then brilliant Kemi, who's a very impressive politician, who's, I will say, breathing down Nigel Farage's neck at the moment.
Absolutely.
Which is a strange look. Kemi, stop doing that. He doesn't like it. You're married. Get a grip of yourself.
Do you think Starmer should resign over this whole Mandelson scandal?
Yes, I do. Because it's a question of character. The person that's got access to the nuclear button, that controls the economy, that controls national security at home and abroad, shouldn't be someone you can't trust. The biggest issue that he's got, JJ, is that the British public don't believe a word he says. And so now, even if he does come out and makes a statement about this or that, and even if it is true, the public aren't having it. And that's where the metaphor, losing the dressing room, comes in. Football metaphor, of course, when the manager loses the dressing room. He has lost the... What do you think? Do you think he should stand down?
I think he should not stand down. I think the country's in enough turmoil as it is. I don't want to have Rayner, Wes Streeting, or Ed Miliband. I don't want them going in. And I think whoever we get in next from Starmer is going from the Labour Party is only going to be worse. So he might as well stay in power until we have a general election and we can all vote for the next prime minister, which certainly would not be from the Labour Party.
Isn't it amazing that things are so bad that Starmer is the least bad option? That is, you raise a good point, because you've got Ed Miliband, who's all in with net zero now. I don't know any of our viewers that don't want cleaner air, of course. I don't know any of our viewers that think that renewables are going to be part of the story going forward. But this, again, back to religion and cult, this religion of net zero. So if Miliband gets in, then it's all windmills and no oil and gas, which basically means a deindustrialized economy. Poverty will be shivering in our homes. Angela, we talked about her. She's shifting leftwards. There's also an issue with her conduct, by the way. Do you want Angela Rayner representing the United Kingdom on the world stage?
I mean, I don't mind her. I think Donald Trump has done much, much worse and said much, much worse. So I'm okay with Rayner.
Do you think that if she becomes prime minister and meets Donald Trump, sparks could fly?
Oh, sparks will certainly fly.
2 fiery redheads.
I think Trump would win her over. I think Trump is very charismatic. I think he'd woo her, and she'd begrudgingly like him. Just like Mamdani did when he met Trump. Trump had him in the palm of his hand.
Well, this is the great misunderstanding about Trump, because he's combative and he creates a lot of conflict, but then he also is a deal maker.
He is.
And when you're in his company, he becomes very genial. This is a very interesting strategy that he has.
Well, I'm hoping that King Charles can get the deal and we'll get America back. We'll make America great again.
Let's take America back. Should we ask our American viewers whether they'd like America to be owned by England again?
Yeah, would you? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Would you like King Charles to be your head of state again? American cousin.
I think it would be good, because if we owned America again and you're in the States, you can get a decent cup of tea for the first time. Good, strong brew.
Yeah.
None of this watery Starbucks rubbish.
But then we'd probably open the borders as well, so it'd become everyone. You'd have Canadians coming into the country.
It's a very good point, and you cannot. It's wrong to demonise any group, isn't it?
It is,
but make an exception.
Right, Mark. Thank you very much, mate.
It's great to see you. Long live the King, and may God bless America.
Absolutely. God bless America. Thank you for watching. Leave your comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, hit that hype button. It helps us get seen by more people like you. Bye-bye for now.